The film is the new action crime film to be released in South Korea in 2022. The adrenaline is pumping through the whole high-powered fight, one shot at a time. It's better than watching the carpet wash. The uncle is a killer. One man can easily beat a bunch of people into submission. But here's what no one knows. Beneath his cold exterior, he was a wife, doting fiend. This day, his wife told him she was going on a trip with her girlfriends, asked him to take care of his best friend's daughter, let a killer take care of the baby. It really put him in a difficult position. But
혹시라도 다치거나 그만큼이라도 상처내면 진짜 재미없다.
ineffectual resistance. The uncle had to do as he was told, but the uncle was right to worry. This is not a good job for nothing. We were going to stay at a classmate's house. Haul the uncle out at 3 a.m., and then abnormally let him go back. But who is your uncle? Great killer. Out of the professional sensibilities of a killer, Seojing must have been hiding something. He hid himself in the dark with no emotion. Sure enough, it didn't take long. Seojing got on a guy's motorcycle and left. The uncle followed the location all the way. This is a roller skating rink. But something doesn't seem right. Seojing, who was very indifferent just now. Now I'm on my knees with my classmates. Seojing's classmate tricked her into coming in. The big sister standing here is doing business. $200 for 2 hours on your knees with your eyes closed. But Seojing still has pride, although kneeling on the ground. But not to the death. Seojing was about to be hit in the face. Here comes the support man. A bunch of thugs with daggers surrounded it. It's like a three-legged cat, the one with the second stab. Not enough to get your teeth stuck in. I was afraid I'd really hurt them. Twofold, a few punks were taken down. But avoiding men doesn't stop women. Wan took advantage of uncle's absence. He pricked the uncle with his scissors. Uncle up is an uppercut. In the evening, the uncle takes Seojing out for dinner. Saw a bunch of police cars around the curb. The policeman stopped the uncle's car and told him, "There's been a murder at the roller rink. 5 students were stabbed to death." The uncle's heart stirred, but the surface remains calm. Look like it's none of my business. That's the basic quality of a killer. But Seojing's face doesn't look so good. Does she have anything to do with this? Sure enough, the uncle's hunch was right. Last night's detectives came on the door, but the uncle was careful not to say anything. And the professionalism of a killer, an army of anti-general policemen, and the cops have put their cards on the table. He has found out everything about Uncle and Seojing. Interpol thinks Seojing has something to do with this case. I want to talk to Seojing, but the uncle stopped him. Why refuse Interpol? First, the uncle didn't want Seojing to get involved. Second, the uncle experienced this kind of thing personally. I saw a child fall in front of me. He's been out of the game for years because of this. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. But for every first time, there must be a second. I'm sure the cops will find us again. We just got a cop out here. Big sister over there is calling again. But this time the uncle has to get involved. Wan threatened him with a dagger with his fingerprints on it. We don't want the police involved in this, or you risk blowing your cover. Then the uncle realized, it's not as simple as you think. He pulled out his long buried gear. Go meet these punks. The uncle tied the woman to the stool. Get started slowly. Suddenly the uncle thrust his dagger into the woman's thigh. The woman cried out in pain. This man is a killer. He sees no gender in murder. Seojing's wallet is snatched by Wan. Follow position. The uncle came straight to their lair. I haven't talked to them since I got here. Just smash a big fat guy's head. He threatened them with the dagger. It's just going to be over. Have not, on the way back, the uncle has a fight with a yellow hair. See one skill? The uncle can sense it. This man is not simple, but the lights were too dim. The uncle did not see his face clearly. The two played a few tricks. Yellow hair left. He seemed to be testing the uncle's skill. I thought we were done with this. But back home, finished. Seojing has an accident. The home camera was smashed. There are wheel marks at the door, one footprint after another in the house. The uncle loaded the gun and went back again. I guess there's no end to this. At this time the uncle is no longer a kind uncle. He is a professional killer, who can kill without blinking. This place is a fucking lair. These guys are really into everything. Wait until uncle gets to the place. Still a step too late. The punks have shifted her position. Abominable. They destroyed the locator chip. The uncle had left in his wallet, leaving Wan to clean up the mess. In order to get Seojing, the address was transferred. Uncle kidnapped Wan and Wan faced this woman. The uncle did not mean to be polite. Straight into her thigh with a dagger. Force her to compromise. At first, you're a dead duck. Now I just gave you the address. This is a hotel building. The uncle went through 5 passes and 6 generals. Go to the top floor. No one here is a match for him. A lot of them just don't know. He was shot dead by the uncle. Finish the fight. Uncle, gently wipe blood stains from the corners of your eyes. Then yellow hair came down from upstairs. The location of Seojing was given, but it was up to the uncle to find him alive. Uncle is no fool. Look at the professional killer dagger in his hand. I knew he was a tough guy to deal with. I can't sit here with him, or roll. fell down a rope from the top floor to the car. Who knows, just come down to meet the Interpol. By this time, the police had already determined that the uncle was responsible for the murder. The uncle turned and tied the policeman to the car. I thought you said. Did I do it? Then I'll show you for yourself. I could use a little help anyway. Uncle comes to port. It turns out these crazy people, in the name of a brokerage firm, coax the little girl in, and then trafficking people. They put the girl in the container, stow away on a ship, sell elsewhere. Xiaojing is sitting in the car, about to be loaded into a container. The uncle put his foot down on the gas pedal, run at the car and knock it down. Get Xiaojing out. While I was still standing, the yellow car hit me again. They fell straight into the car. This is a rush to die together. Wait until the uncle finds him. A man's death is imminent. The uncle shot him. The uncle found his cell phone on him. It contains evidence of corrupt police officers. I just know. This man is not one of them. It's backup from this cop over here. Just like that. The uncle has a criminal on his hands. The policeman cleaned up after the uncle. Xiaojing and uncle were both taken to the hospital. Who wouldn't want to have a killer uncle? Call me and call me back. They'll be the first to rescue themselves. Injury will silently accompany yourself. Not to mention helping yourself to your stepmother. I'll be responsible for raising myself as an adult. It seems heartless, but there is love. On the surface everything was calm, but secretly the uncle did not let it go. The person behind Xiaojing's abduction has not been caught yet. The uncle still wanted to get to the bottom of it. Uncle through a friend. Bought a sniper rifle off the black market. Just another deal with a cop. Don't you like money? You help me find someone. I'll give you money. Money does make the world go round. We have the information we need right now. The uncle followed the way. I heard from Boss Park about the Chancellor, and finally Mama Kim, after asking the result, one shot at a time. Cut off the roots. Original. Xiaojing's father died in an accident 3 years ago. Her present mother is her stepmother, and that woman was Mama Kim. She's also a human trafficking mastermind. The gang used the agency's name to lure the girl in, and sell them to rich people for a deal. One of the biggest clients is the Chancellor, and this judge is a powerful figure in South Korea. The gaming experience seems to be better, but it doesn't affect the difficulty of the game. The next step is to take them one by one. That's what killers do. Isn't that a no-brainer? Evening. The judge is indulging in extravagant pleasures. Uncle, a few bullets. Kill the bodyguard. He went in with the cops. Yellow hair works for the judge. The three engaged in a fierce gun battle. The uncle was as steady as ever. However, the detective has gone rogue without conscience. He and yellow hair took the uncle to the judge, but the judge didn't pay any attention to the uncle. I'm gonna turn him over to Interpol, but he had no idea. There's more to uncle than meets the eye. The little policeman was no match for the uncle. Just go out. The uncle took out all their men by himself, including Interpol, and they just got picked up by the cops. The uncle did it on purpose. He just wanted to get in there and see the judge's face. You know what a bullseye looks like. The judge and the uncle have 800 hearts and minds. The uncle accounts for 801, but there's one hairy yellow thing left to solve. So, from gunfights to meat fights. No prizes for guessing the ending. The uncle won. Yellow hair got kicked through the window into the pool. Next up is the judge. He just got out of the bath. I got a nice haircut. I opened the door and saw the uncle waiting outside. The uncle told him to put on his shroud. To talk to him on his deathbed then. Mama Kim gets a call. Knew something was wrong, but the uncle is not known when to sit in the car waiting for a long time. He said,
말이야. 와이프가 여기는 상당히 예민해서.
I did all this before. I do it for my wife, and Mama Kim spoke out. The reason why I did it. She has long peered at the uncle's property. That's why you have to keep your wife away. Xiaojing is arranged beside the uncle. Seduce him, after all this. But what she encountered was a killer who could not blink. I'm still a pet wife crazy. The uncle took the woman to the wilderness. Tell her that he will take care of Xiaojing until he becomes an adult. Then drink coffee, leave in style. I watched a beautiful sunset with my wife, but for those of you who look carefully, you will find that, the end of the film, the wife saw her husband come looking for him. There were no surprises. The way she clapped her hands behind her husband's back. That's exactly what the dead girl did. Maybe, the wife is the biggest backstabber. Designed it all, just to make up for her husband's regret, to heal his wounded heart. This is one hell of a couple. The whole movie seems to be a fight. I ended up with a fistful of dog food. The director is so ruthless.